Hello everyone, I'm so excited. Today I have the brand new Posca brush pens for us to play with. Now I've had this one right here for a few months now. I got it at the NAMTA Creativation Expo, a little sneak peek of their new product. But now I have the set of 8 and I'm excited to swatch them and color with them and do a little lettering with them. What are they like? Are they worth purchasing? They also have a 16 set. Should I have purchased that? I'm so excited to explore the Posca brush pens with you. My name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss. And before we get started, I have a little favor to ask. I am so close to reaching 100,000 subscribers and I need your help. Could you please hit that subscribe button for me? I really need your support and I'm so grateful for it. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Let's dive in now and start talking about the Posca brush pens. Okay, Jennifer, before you get started with this video, I wanted to interrupt and tell you about our giveaway that's going on. We are giving away one copy of Volume 1 Simple Bliss Spring Garden so that you can color with your brand new 90 color set of Ohuhu KAKAAKO acrylic markers. These are beautiful markers that we showed last week, and Ohuhu was so generous to give us a second set of these so that I can give them away to one of you. This giveaway is worth $126.48. It ends September 3rd, 2025, so you don't have much time left to get your entries in. The winner will be announced via email September 4th, 2025. I do want to mention that Posca has another brush type pen that they have had for quite a while. It's a pen that has actual bristles on it, which is different from this pen, which has more of a cone-shaped felt tip type tip, slightly flexible, and it's pretty awesome. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be a really rigid plasticky tip like a lot of their pens, but nope, this is a little special and a little different from all of those pens. Now, I purchased the 8 set. It cost me about $18.36 here in the US as of August 2025. But there's also a 16 set that is $40 that you can purchase as well. So I'm curious to see, should I have purchased that 16 set? Am I going to love these more than my other Posca pens? I don't know. Now let's pull out yellow. Now this yellow pen right here, you can see it says Posca brush on it, so that you know you have a brush pen, and it also has a band with it written on it as well right here, so you can always tell that you've got a brush pen. Now they're saying that it's a 1.0 to a 4.0 millimeter nib on it, and that's because you can either write with it on the tip or you can hold it on its side to get a wider pass of ink. And that's what the tip looks like right there. Of course, we haven't primed this one yet, so it's still white, but in a little while it will be yellow. So that's what the brush nib looks like, and it does have some flex to it, so you can do some calligraphy writing, which we'll play around with as well. Now to get it going, you have to shake it, prime it by pumping the tip, and then you're good to go, and then they remind you to get that cap back on when you're done so that the ink doesn't dry up. Really cool. I'm excited about these tools here. And like I said, I've had the pink one for a while now, so I'll show you what it looks like when the ink is on that tip. But let's go ahead and shake and prime these. This is my least favorite part of Posca pens, is the priming, because it feels like it wastes so much ink. So instead of just priming on a scratch piece of paper today, I'm going to prime inside my sketchbook here on a fresh page, and then that ink I can color with and play with if a big puddle comes out. When I primed my pink one, a very large puddle came out and it was very frustrating. So I'm just going to be ready for it here and see what happens. So you shake the pen, and after you feel like it's good and mixed up in there, this is the first time we've ever done it, so I'm going to give it some extra shaking time. Then we're going to come down here and gently push the tip in. Oh, there. It startled me. But you can see that we have some extra ink that came out, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that puddle into a flower so I don't waste that ink. And this will become another swatch page. And I'm going to be swatching them in a couple different ways. So let me go ahead and prime all these pens so we're good to go, and then we'll get into the swatching. Okay, I'm glad I did it here in this book because there was a lot of ink that came out for each and every one of them, especially the white. I don't think you can tell, but the white just really puddled out. So, and then we even got some on the bookmark here, some ink, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry off to the side. I tried using my air tool to dry it, but it's just going to take a lot of time because there is a lot of ink. So let's go ahead and do an official swatching now in my Swatch Bliss book, Volume 1. And this one is printed on mixed media paper, but you can have it printed on a variety of papers, including black paper. And I'd like to see these inks on black paper as well. So I'm going to swatch them twice, here on black and here on white. Okay, I didn't mean to put this on the same page as the Sharpie Creative Markers, which are also an acrylic pen, but I'm kind of glad I did because we're seeing quite a difference here in opacity. The yellow, for instance, compared to the Sharpie Creative Marker yellow, this is not as opaque. Even the white to the white, yeah, and the more they dry, the less opaque they get. So I'm sure if we wanted to come back and do a second coat, we would get better opacity. Let me do a couple of those. Yeah, so if you're planning on working on a dark surface like a black paper using these markers, I would be prepared to do multiple layers to get the best color payoff and the most opacity for your piece of art. It's kind of important to know because if you're doing lettering on black paper, it's going to take a lot of layering to get that really pretty color to come out. Okay, that's good to know. Here you can see them on white and they are just stunning. The colors are vivid and beautiful. So I'm really pleased with them on the white. So I'm happy that we're going to be coloring and doing lettering on white paper. Let's practice a little bit of lettering. Now, as I've said before on this channel, I am not a calligrapher. I'm not really good at lettering. I'm going to do my best to give you an idea of how these pens perform in a lettering situation, but I am not the best at it here. Let's go ahead and do dark blue, and I'm going to just play around with some lettering techniques here on this page, and let's see what we come up with. Okay, I'm really happy with how it's working. The only thing is it's a little jittery as you do the downstroke, but that could be the paper I'm on. It might need a different kind of paper to eliminate that jitteriness. Let's go ahead and do some more of these up and down strokes so that you can see the flex in the marker. And then after I finish this row, I'll show you up close the nib to see if it's still straight, if it's recovering from the pressure. Okay, let's take a look here at the nib. Looks pretty straight, maybe a tiny bit of a bend in it, but not bad. So it's a nice, flexible, easy to work with marker. You can see the two different types of line widths I was able to create using the very, very tip and then using the side of the tip. So there's a lot of variety that you can get with this one nib. So I'm really liking it. This is fun. I want to do some coloring now. For coloring today, I'm going to be working in Simple Bliss. This is my new favorite coloring book because it has so many really charming little illustrations that you can color. It doesn't take a lot of time. Usually it's less than 30 minutes for me to color a piece of art in here. It's so much fun. So it's the perfect place to practice with a new art medium. So I'm going to flip maybe here to this mushroom here. That will give us some stripes that we can work with the mushroom, and try doing some blending with the ink down the stem. Yeah, maybe we'll do blue and white. Blue and light blue, and then, yeah, I think we'll just use lots of colors. We only have 8 colors here. One of them's white, so we might as well just go for it and have some fun with the colors and make a really crazy looking mushroom. Now, because I'm working with a limited palette, we're not going to get a lot of different gradients and shading and highlights going on. But what I do want to experiment with here is how well that nib works in small areas and in large areas. Just how well does it perform? So we can either look at it as a coloring tool, or is this more of a lettering tool? That's what I want to learn by coloring these little mushrooms. My little illustration is all done. It turned out pretty much how I thought it would. The acrylic markers like to cover up the line work, so you have to be really careful of the line work, or be prepared to go back and draw the line work back in with your Posca pen. I wasn't able to get that great of blends because the ink was drying so fast that by the time I was ready to blend it, it was dry, which is a good thing. It means you can keep working faster and layer on it more. And in fact, I could probably come in and flick a few. There, that's a better blend. So you can come and do layers upon layers with your art, which is really fun with acrylic. I had fun with the background, just adding in a little bit of a fun doodle design in the background, and I think that turned out really cute, and I love the white highlight. I'm almost wishing these pens are a lot girthier, fatter than the standard Posca pens that I'm used to, and so it's not going to fit in my new art travel kit, but I wish this one would fit because I'm having trouble with my white markers in my new art travel kit. They're just not that dependable. I was using a Copic Acrylic and it just wasn't that dependable, and I'm wondering if this brush nib would work better. I'll have to think about if there's a way I can get this into my art travel kit, but I think it turned out really fun and happy. It's just what you'd expect with a limited palette and acrylic markers. So my final recommendations should you purchase the Posca brush pens. If you're like me and you're on the fence about Posca, sometimes they work great, sometimes they don't work great, I'm hoping that these brush pens are going to flow and work a little better than their standard nibs. I like the flexibility of the nib, that you can do lettering with it. I like that you can get that teeny tiny 1mm line all the way up to the 4mm line. I think the colors are bright and vivid and beautiful. They're not super great on black. You have to be prepared to do lots of layering on black paper. But on white paper, they're really pretty and they're a lot of fun. Are they the best acrylic marker out there? That's up for debate now. There are a lot of acrylic markers out there. Are they one of the best? I think so. And I like that Posca markers are widely available in a lot of different places. So that's a plus for me as well. So do I think you should purchase these and try them out? If you already own a whole bunch of acrylic markers, I don't think you need the Posca brush pens. If you have the standard Posca markers and you're like me, you kind of wish they were a little bit better, you might really like the Posca brush pen. That nib is kind of a game changer for me. I think it will make me reach for these markers before I reach for my standard Posca markers, the bullet type tip. So yeah, I kind of think they're worth it. I think they're really neat, and now I kind of wish I had bought the bigger set, but I'll be happy with my little set and enjoy them and use them, and maybe I'll give you an update in a few months to let you know how they're doing and how the nib is standing up to the test of time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.